Right now, though, I want to welcome to the program NRA's Illinois lobbyist, Mr. Todd Vandermeide. Todd, good evening to you, sir.
Evening. Happy Thanksgiving, Cam.
Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Now, I understand that Father Michael Pfleger is, it's kind of like the Chicago version of Groundhog Day. He's poking his head up after really not being around publicly much over the last 6 or 7 months, and he is now starting to wade once again into the gun control issue, this time specifically speaking out in lobbying against right to carry.
Yeah, evidently there was a press conference that was done yesterday. Kind of funny because since you guys sent me the link, I was out of town today, and since you guys sent me the link, I've Googled this press conference, and I can't find anything on it outside of this one story from WBEZ, a local radio station. So obviously, either everybody is getting prepared for Black Friday shopping sprees or Turkey Day tomorrow, and they just seem to be way too busy to pay attention to the anti-gunners. But, I mean, it's everything from what I can see, what you would expect. It was, all the professional victims. It was all the professional naysayers. And it was Father Flaky, just doing the same old drivel that we've heard how many times before.
Yeah, in fact, it almost seemed like Father Pfleger was listening to the debate on the National Right to Carry Reciprocity Act and just sort of cribbing from what opponents of the legislation were saying. I guess he told the attendees of this press event at St. Sabina Church, quote, "Our country can't pass a jobs bill. We can't get a super committee to come together and do cuts, but we can push forward to get guns and concealed carry across this whole country." This is something we heard from several of the opponents of national right to carry reciprocity. Why aren't we getting a jobs bill passed? Now, again, I'd remind the Reverend that the House has passed now, I think, 17 different jobs bills that have not been taken up by the Senate. So if you want to complain, don't direct your ire at the House. They've passed a number of jobs bills, so you can say that they've earned the right to take up national right to carry reciprocity.
Well, sure. I mean, it seems that everybody forgets that the Democrats still control the United States Senate. But, I think that once again, Illinois is not affected by H.R. 822. And I think that what you're seeing here is the continued erosion of what little support the anti-gunners had in the state, that they have to go to another press conference the week of Thanksgiving trying to claim some manner of relevancy. I mean, Father Flaky was in the audience when LaShawn Ford did one of his town hall meetings.
Mm-hmm.
And they offered him a microphone, and he refused to get up. Now, some of the people that I see in the photograph from this press conference were there, and that's all well and good. But it's funny here that we've taken it to the south side of Chicago, the west side of Chicago, and we've dominated these forums. And we've heard from multiple sources that in Oak Park, the anti-gunners should consider their backyard, their home base. They were hoping to turn out like 200 people to shut us down. Didn't happen. I mean, of the Oak Park residents, we were equal NRA supporters versus anti-gunners. And then from the people who are outside the district, who are outside Oak Park but were within LaShawn Ford's representative district, we had a majority of those. So, I think that we are watching a withering on the vine anti-gun movement. I mean, how many cases of AstroTurf have we seen these guys? I mean, it seems like about every 6 months the Joyce Foundation throws $50,000 out there for somebody to create a new website. I think that they're trying to draw a line in the sand here in Illinois, and I think they understand that this rope is slipping through their fingers.
Okay, so what do you make of HR 822? We've got an email from one of our listeners in Illinois tonight asking how HR 822 could affect the fight for concealed carry in Illinois. As you pointed out, Illinois would not be affected by HR 822. But again, Illinois being the only state in the union now without some form or fashion of carry laws on the books, Wisconsin becoming the 49th state to get some form of carry laws there in legislation. Now it's just Illinois. I mean, does H.R. 822 have an impact on the debate locally? Does it help you guys?
It is too early to tell so far, but I would wager that all the talking points you have heard against H.R. 22 will now come into the state as to why we should not pass a carry law in Illinois, because if H.R. 822 passes and then insert talking point here about Florida, about, the lowest common denominator or whatever, that's what I expect the other side to do.
Yeah.
They're kind of predictable in some of the stuff that they do. But whether or not that is going to change votes, out of 54 Republicans, there were 51 that voted in favor of it. I don't think we've lost any of those from what I've seen. I think we're working on picking a couple up. We haven't lost any votes on the Democratic side of the aisle that I can tell. And in fact, we've been working very hard this summer to pick more up. So, it remains to be seen. We going to start filing petitions next week for our primary. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of opposition people are drawing and who's being challenged and who's not. And I think depending on how some of that goes, that may have a very big effect on picking up votes to pass, right to carry in Illinois.
All right, another question from an Illinois resident. Lawrence from Vernon Hills says, Cam, could you ask Todd about the new committee created by the state of Illinois to study concealed carry? Every representative except one voted for it. This makes me suspect that it is only political corruption, probably pay for play. So what can you tell us about this new committee, and what is it supposed to do, Todd?
Well, it's not a committee, it's a task force to look at the right to carry laws of 49 states and make a report back to the General Assembly. It was the creation of Representative LaShawn Ford, who's been doing these town hall meetings. The NRA has a seat on it. The ISRA has a seat on it. The firearms manufacturers have a seat on it. The Sheriff's Association, the Cook County Sheriff, the State's Attorneys Association, the Cook County State's Attorney. The anti-gunners have 2 seats. There are 5 from the Speaker and 5 from the Minority Leader of the House, and I think I've got them all covered. So we're going to be working on, providing them a lot of factual information about this, and we will see. LaShawn Ford said he plans on having 3 meetings of the task force. I think one of those will probably be dedicated to law enforcement. It will be very interesting to see if some of the, who exactly gets invited and shows up. But we are going to be pushing to make sure that, some of the pro-gun sheriffs show up, that the past legislative chairman of the Chiefs Association who helped negotiate the last House Bill 148. I'd very much like to see the CPD come in and to have a thorough grilling, because I believe NRA maybe may need to be the representative for NRA to the task force.
Oh, really?
So if that goes through, I would very much enjoy the opportunity to question, the Chicago Police Superintendent and or his representative about how they can't seem to square what, every other major metropolitan city is doing.
All right. Todd, do you see this? Obviously, this was an issue in last year's legislative session when 6 votes shy of getting that supermajority that was needed. Do you think right to carry is going to be an even bigger issue in the next legislative session in Illinois?
Yes, I think that the fact that we're waiting for a vote on it in the Senate, and that we were. They keep saying that we got beat. What they fail to want to acknowledge is that a majority of the House, not just a bare majority, but an overwhelming majority, 65, 66 votes, members of the House voted to support right to carry. They can't get anywhere near that number on any of their bills. So I think that the only thing that's holding us up are procedural issues, but that is I think the writing's on the wall. It's just a matter of time. I'm hearing from more and more Chicago legislators that they think it's going to happen. It's just a question of when.
All right. Well, listen, Todd, very pleased, sir, that you could come on the program tonight and talk to us. Hope you have a very happy Thanksgiving, and I know we'll be discussing right to carry in Illinois again very soon.
Well, we'll have some more to talk about next week or so, I think, with some of the other things that are going on. So look forward to talking to you again, Kim. Happy holidays, everyone.
Thanks, Todd. Todd Vandermeide, NRA's Illinois lobbyist, joined us here tonight on Cam and Company.